everybody, it's Ann Patchett and Pierre Van Deventer at Parnassus Books. Yes, Nemo's gone. He got a haircut. He's been replaced by his evil twin, Pierre Van Deventer. Do you remember in the 70s when they used to do that on television shows? The star would suddenly have an evil twin that was just them in a fluffier wig. That's what happened to Nemo. Speaking of the 70s, Tom Robbins died. And for people of my age, Elise and I were talking about this morning, we were shaped by the novels of Tom Robbins. Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Still Life with Woodpecker. My whole idea about what it would mean when I was in high school to grow up and be a feminist was given to me by Tom Robbins, which is strange, but still I'm incredibly appreciative. And part of me thinks I should go back and reread those books, and part of me thinks don't ever go back and reread those books, because my memory is so sweet and so of my 16-year-old self that I want to just leave that alone. But he did a lot of good for a lot of readers. All right, I'm back again to talk about Parnassus Books for Business, which is parnassusbooksforbusiness.net Why do I say that every week? Backsplash. Or you know what I'm talking about. PB4B. Maybe it's endearing if I say backsplash. I don't know. Go and look and see what Parnassus Books for Business is doing. This is the book that we're featuring this week, Climate Justice, and it's what rich nations owe the world and the future. Cass Sustine, who worked in the Obama administration. And this is a book about how rich countries reap the benefits of getting all of the energy while poor countries have to pay the price. You remember when we cared about things like that, about climate change and the future? The book's still here and it's exciting. All right. 3 Days in June, Ann Tyler. Love Ann Tyler always. This is a wedding, an ex-husband, getting fired, daughter, bride with a secret, and it's short and it's delightful. And this book is long and it's delightful, I know, because I read the whole thing. My friend Jojo Moyes, We All Live Here. This is, the husband's gone, the wife is a writer, she has 2 daughters, she has her old stepfather, I had to get that right in my mind, living with her, and also the father who abandoned the family shows up again. It's a real mishmash of people under one big, rambling, happy roof, and it's beautiful and light and a great place to hide out in. And she's coming, and I'm going to be in conversation with her. And even though the event is sold out, I think Elise will tell you more, and you can get signed JoJo books. 2 important paperbacks today. Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips won the Pulitzer, and Book of Love by Kelly Link. And I just picked this book up because I love the cover and I love the title, and it made me happy. Magic in the Air, the Myth, the Mystery, and the Soul of the Slam Dunk. Who doesn't want to read an entire book about the slam dunk? I love basketball. Lindsay, what you got?
Gossip. Out today, Kelsey McKinney, who is the host of the wonderful podcast, Normal Gossip. You might know I have a vested interest in gossip. I wrote some historical fiction about gossip. Do tell. You should buy a copy. But this is nonfiction, and it's about how gossip functions in society. You didn't hear this from me. I love Kelsey McKinney's writing. I cannot wait to read this book. Yay, gossip. For fiction, out today, Nancy Johnson, People of Means, which is a dual timeline novel. One of the timelines is set in our own Nashville at Fisk University. Marie Benedict fans, great news. Queens of Crime is out today, following a bunch of famous crime authors, female crime authors, who band together and solve a real-life mystery. Friday is Valentine's Day, and you know what that means? You should just read some romance novels. That's what that means. For my historical fiction girlies, I'm one of you. I love historical fiction. I love historic romances. We just had a fabulous event with Adriana Herrera for a Tropical Rebel Gets the Duke. But all 3 books in this series just got a gorgeous redesign. Look how pretty they are together. If you want some genre bending in your romance, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. Plays with a little bit of time travel, a little bit of magic in this one. If you want a lot more magic, Kimberly Lemming, who has some of my favorite book titles, you can check out That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. We have an event coming up with her in a couple of weeks. Her next book drops next week. I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com. Again, winner for best titles, Kimberly Lemming. For my contemporary romance, Lauren Kung Jessen, Yin Yang Love Song, or maybe Julian Winters, I Think They Love You. Or perhaps Carmen Lee, The Relationship Mechanic, which our romance book club in-house is reading for next month, I believe. So if you want to join our in-house romance book club, buy a copy, read it. And kicking it back over to Elise.
Thanks, Lindsay. And hey, I want to give a shout out to Barbara, who I met in town, and she let me know that the dog that I was admiring on the end of the leash she was holding could be a fabulous shop dog. I didn't get the dog's name, but I got Barbara's name, so thanks for watching, Barbara. And thanks all of you. And yeah, the fun never ends. A Tropical Rebel Gets the Duke. So we do have signed copies. We had such a great event with Adriana Herrera last night. And then tonight, Josh Plas. So he's a writer, he's a filmmaker. He is just an immense talent. He's going to be in conversation with Julian Vaca and celebrating his new book, Dust. It is an action-packed fantasy saga. There are some seats left. Unlike Geraldine Brooks in conversation with Anne, and there are not seats left at this time. But this is Memorial Days, and I know we've talked about this a few times. It is such an amazing, amazing memoir, and we will have signed copies, as we will for Jojo Moyes. As Anne said, that also they'll be in conversation. It's going to be a wonderful event. It is filled up at the moment, which is just to say that you got to keep looking at the events calendar. You should also sign up for the newsletter, and then you will know about all these incredible events, and you can have a ticket and a seat at these fabulous events. And there is going to be a wonderful story time on Saturday at 10:30. You all know that's one of my favorite things, and it is going to be the fabulous Parnassus staff. It's Hannah P. and Allie, and it is just so much fun. Speaking of so much fun, Ran.
Oh boy, you are correct. Ready for some new books? In YA today, Evie Zaboy has a new book called Skin, based on Caribbean folklore, about a witch who sheds her skin and bursts into flames. 2 girls in New York City. Catherine Bakewell, Where Shadows Bloom. It's a sapphic romantasy inspired by Orpheus and Eurydice. In middle grade, we've got some spooky books today. It's rainy out there. It's the perfect day. A Home for Unusual Monsters by Sean David Hutchison. A Girl Who Works for a Secret Agency Fighting Monsters. The Labyrinth of Souls by Leslie Vedder, where a kid can actually see the souls in the labyrinth. You're not supposed to go in there, but you know what happens. Adriana Cuevas, What Fell from the Sky. These are kids, and let me see what year it is. It is the 1960s, I believe. They are trying to help a space alien girl get back to her family in Texas. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of hosting Megan Freeman for school visits for Away. Maybe you read Alone. This is about a girl who is the only one left in her town when it's evacuated due to an imminent threat. This takes place at the same time. It's about 4 kids who actually were evacuated. So you can read them in either order. We have signed copies of Away. And in picture book biography today, amazing Nashville illustrator Susanna Chapman has illustrated the story of Clara Driscoll and the Tiffany Girls, Dragonflies of Glass. She'll be signing copies for us. I also saw she designed the new Chapter 16 logo. Congrats, Susanna. Thanks for listening. Thanks for shopping at Parnassus.